Hello everyone. आशा करछि समस्ते भलो अछंती and today आमे गोटे नुआ चैप्टर स्टार्ट करिया पई जाउछु that is chapter 2 biological classification. आ को टॉपिक ता आमे कवर करिवो आजि आमे देखिबो artificial to five kingdom classification. Okay, very important topic. End पर्यंत stick करिवो because we are going to cover amazing MCQ questions, very concept based, and आमे AR type question भी देखिबो आउ match the following type भी देखिबो तो stick until the end. Okay, first आमे टिके basis देखि दबा. What is classification? Classification न माने हैला similarities आउ dissimilarities रो basis रे organisms को group करिबा. Okay, why is it needed? Because we have a huge biodiversity. In order to understand them nicely, okay, आउ तांकर characteristics को predict करिया पई evolutionary relationship देखिया पई classification is very important. So it is an important tool to understand biodiversity. Very important NEET line. Okay, now the pioneering scientist who gave first the scientific idea about classification was Aristotle. And what did he do? He used some simple morphological characters and classified plants into trees, shrubs and herbs. Okay, and animals into those which have red blood cells and those which do not. Now, जो classification thila, this could not comprise all the plants and animals and other organisms. So, and he also used very simple morphological characters. That's why it was called as artificial classification. Eventually, other classification systems came into existence. Artificial classification परे आसिला two kingdom classification. के देतले याको? Carolus Linnaeus. Year 1758. What did he do? Living organisms, they were classified on the basis of simple observable characters, mode of nutrition, that is whether they can prepare their food or they cannot. Then third point है presence or absence of locomotion. That means if they are able to move or they are not able to move. से कौन कले classify कले organisms को kingdom plantae और kingdom animale. तो kingdom plantae रे कौन main character रहिला? They can prepare their own food. Okay, and they cannot move. Also they have a cell wall present in them. तो कौन हैला ना plants, algae, fungi, bacteria. समस्त इनको से कौन कले ना किंगडम प्लांटे रे ग्रुप करले. ओके, आउ जहां भी एनिमल्स रहिले से कोन करले ताको किंगडम एनिमलिया रे मूव करले. इज इट क्लियर? टू किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन ता नो डाउट नेचुरल क्लासिफिकेशन रा फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट थिला, बट it had a major limitation. Why? Because देखो तमरा बैक्टीरिया, साइनोबैक्टीरिया एमाने सबु कोन प्रोकैरियोट्स जहार कि ट्रू न्यूक्लियस नाही, नो मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनेल्स एमानकु तमरा यूकैरियोट्स सहित जहार कि ट्रू न्यूक्लियस अछि, मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनेल्स अछि, जेमिति फंगाई, मॉसेस, फर्न्स, जिम्नोस्पर्म, एंजियोस्पर्म एमानक सांगरे together put kara jaithila, right? So the two kingdom classification failed to distinguish prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, second point hela, it also failed to distinguish unicellular and multicellular organisms. Again tamara bacteria, cyanobacteria kon unicellular, kintu fungi, mosses, gymnosperm, angiosperm egoda tamara multicellular. So again either unicellular and multicellular together put kara jaithila. That is another limitation of two kingdom classification. Also it placed the autotrophs and heterotrophs together. How? देखो bacteria and cyanobacteria, they can perform chemosynthesis, okay, to prepare their food. Plants, they perform photosynthesis to prepare their food. But जदि तमे देखिबो fungi, तो fungi रे तो chlorophyll नहीं, it performs heterotrophic nutrition. That is, it depends upon the dead and decaying matter to get its nutrients, right? Also jodi tamara cell wall of fungi ko dekhiba, tara cell wall re chitin achi. So fungi cannot be placed in along with the plants. So that is also a limitation of two kingdom classification. So mone rahila important point, fail to distinguish prokaryote, eukaryote, unicellular, multicellular organisms, and the distinguishing between the autotrophs and heterotrophs. आउ गोटे बहुत important example example of limitation for two kingdom classification is euglena. Euglena ta jodi dekhiba, it is unicellular. It can photosynthesize and prepare its food just like the plants, but it can move. It has a flagella. It performs locomotion just like the animal. Also ଯେତେବେଳେ ତମର sunlight ନଥିବ ସେତେବେଳେ euglena ଟା organic matter ଉପରେ depend କରିକି ତାର nutrients derive କରିପାରିବ. ତ ଏବେ ଯଦି ତମେ euglena ନବ, where can you put it? ତାକୁ plants ରେ put କରିବ ନା animals ରେ put କରିବ? So euglena also was a major limitation of two kingdom classification. तो केमिति याको ओवरकम करागला, लेट्स सी. देखिले हमर टू किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन रो मेजर लिमिटेशंस थिला. That's why biological classification systems gradually over the years evolve kala. Okay, first one हमारा artificial system थिला, तापरे natural classification system रे हमारा two kingdom concept was given first, but it could not classify the microorganisms properly. That's why Ernst Haeckel included body organization to frame the three kingdom classification system. तो से कौन कले ना यूनिसेलुलर और मल्टीसेलुलर को सेपरेट कर देले. जहाँ भी तमरे यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स थिला, माने जो भी ऑर्गेनिज्म रे सिंगल सेल थिला, he placed them in a separate kingdom, that is protista. Okay, आउ रेस्ट जहाँ भी मल्टीसेलुलर थिले तांको प्लांट्स रे आउ मल्टीसेलुलर एनिमल्स को एनिमलिया किंगडम रे पुट करिले, राइट. बट यार लिमिटेशन कौन रहिला? अगेन it could not separate prokaryote and eukaryote. माने there are some single cellular organism whose cellular structure is prokaryotic while some have eukaryotic cellular structure. So three kingdom classification could not separate prokaryotes and eukaryotes properly. Also fungi were not given a separate kingdom. So those were the limitation of three kingdom classification by Haeckel. तो नेक्स्ट कौन इंप्रूवमेंट हैला? नेक्स्ट आसिला फोर किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन बाय कोपलैंड. तो एटा कौन ना फोर किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन included nucleus structure or cellular structure in their classification system. तो जो भी unicellular organisms prokaryotes थिले, they were placed in Monera kingdom. और जो unicellular organisms were eukaryotic, they were placed in Protista kingdom. But यार limitation कौन थिला? Limitation थिला कि fungi were still grouped along with the plants, but fungi are heterotrophic while plants are autotrophic. So four kingdom classification given by Copeland still had some limitation, that is placing a proper kingdom for fungi. Okay, so finally asila tamara five kingdom classification by R.H. Whittaker in the year 1969. So he included five scientific criteria. Kona? Body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, phylogenetic relationship, and he classified the organisms into five kingdoms. So this is also called as a phylogenetic classification system. Okay, so first is la tomara artificial, natural under re tomara two kingdom, three kingdom and four kingdom system. Our phylogenetic under re tomara is la five kingdom classification system. 80 corner semane improvement kale. They separated the fungi from the plantae kingdom. Okay, clear? Next time देखिबा, how did Whittaker solve this problem? Whittaker in the year 1969 proposed the five kingdom classification by considering five important points. कौन कौन? Number one है cell structure. Cell भीतरे well defined nucleus, nuclear membrane, membrane bound organelles अच्छी और नहीं. That means organism ta tomara prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Eta hela number one point. Along with that, se dekhile cell wall ro composition kon. Is it made of cellulose or chitin? So second point tapare dekhile body organization. Body organization mane kon? Organism ta single cell अच्छी और यूनिसेलुलर अच्छी ना मल्टीपल सेल टिश्यू अच्छी तादरे. So that was the second point of consideration. Third point hela mode of nutrition, which is an important change over the तमर कौन 4 kingdom classification system. Mode of nutrition रे से consider कले whether the organism can prepare its own food or is autotrophic or it depends on others for its food, that is it is heterotrophic. Fourth point है तुम्हारा reproduction, whether the organism is reproducing sexually or asexually. And fifth point है तंकर evolutionary relationship or phylogenetic relationship. तो एगुड़ा है तुम्हारा 5 important points which were considered by Whittaker. तो result कौन है देखो जहाँ भी prokaryotes थिले they were placed in kingdom Monera. All unicellular eukaryotes they were placed in kingdom Protista. जेहेतु मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन टा एटी कंसीडर करा गला फंगाई को आगुरु कोन प्लांट किंगडम रे पुट करथुले बट फंगाई टा कोन हेटेरोट्रोफिक बिकॉज़ दे वर हेटेरोट्रोफिक और जदी सेल स्ट्रक्चर देखिले दे हैव काइटिन इन देयर सेल वॉल दैट्स व्हाई सेपरेट किंगडम वाज असाइन्ड टू देम. क्लियर. Plants remained in kingdom Plantae and animals remained in kingdom Animae. देखो जहां सब इंटरेस्टिंग लिमिटेशंस थिला तमरा जेमिति Chlamydomonas and Chlorella jodi dekhiba, they were able to photosynthesize, but they were unicellular. That's why before they were placed in plants, but after this 5 kingdom classification, as they were unicellular eukaryotes, they were put in the kingdom Protista. Similarly, amoeba and paramecium सेटा को कौन तमरा animal kingdom रे आगुरु put कर दोतले किंतु amoeba and paramecium तमरा unicellular eukaryotes, that's why again they were brought together in the kingdom Protista. So interestingly जहाँ भी तमरा limitations थिला 5 kingdom classification ने एगुड़ा सबु तमरा address करा गला. Diagrammatically जदि हमें 5 kingdom classification को represent करिबा, so it was given by 1969 by Whittaker. Living organisms are classified as Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia on the basis of cell structure, body or thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction and phylogenetic relationship. Clear? এটা गोटे तुम्हारा important table from NCERT textbook. এটা भलरे देखि नबा. Characteristics of the 5 kingdom. Okay, the Monera jodi dekhiba, it is the only kingdom which is having the prokaryotic organisms. Rest all tamara cell type jodi dekhiba for Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia, rest all are eukaryotic. Only Monera ta hela tamara prokaryotic. Okay, cell wall jodi tame dekhiba kaha kaha cell wall achi seta important. देखो मोनेरा जदि तमे देखिबो, it is non-cellulosic cell wall made of polysaccharide and amino acid. Protista रे जदि देखिबो, only few have the cell wall in them. एबे fungi जदि देखिबो, तांकर cell wall टा एटी कोन तमरा chitin रे composed. और Plantae जदि देखिबो, they have cell wall and it is made up of cellulose. और Animalia को जदि देखिबो, they lack a cell wall in them. So एटी cell type of cell wall तमरा कोन cell structure को देखिले. Next तमरा हैला nuclear membrane. Again Monera रे जदि देखिबो, तमरा nuclear membrane is absent because it is prokaryotic. Rest all Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia, they have a nuclear membrane present in their cells. Okay, body organization or thallus organization. एटा कौन या माने हला तमरा unicellular or multicellular. देखो Monera and Protista तमरा unicellular organisms. तेबे एटी cellular काहे के दिया है जी केबे केबे कौन हुए ना certain Monera and certain Protista they form colony माने बहुत सारे cells together join ही की रहता है. For example in nostoc and volvox in case of the Protista, but they cannot be considered as a multicellular because तांकर tissue level of organization न थाए. So तांकर body organization is called as cellular. Rest तुम्हें fungi, Plantae, Animalia जदि देखिबो, they have multicellular and tissue organization in fungi. Plantae रे again तमरा tissue or organ type of organization. Animalia रे भी तमरा tissue, organ और organ system kind of organization. Okay, So highest level of body organization jodi tame dekhibo, it is found in animalia. Mode of nutrition jodi tame dekhibo, monera, they are autotrophic. They can prepare their food by chemosynthesis, and some are photosynthetic also, and some are also heterotrophic, that is they depend on the organic matter. Jodi protista ko dekhiba, they are autotrophic as well as heterotrophic. Fungi ko kintu jodi dekhiba, it is heterotrophic in nature. It is typically saprophytic because it depends upon the dead and the decaying matter. Now plants can prepare their own food or are autotrophic because they prepare it by photosynthesis, and animalia jodi tume dekhiba, they have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They consume solid food, so they are told as holozoic nutrition. Okay, so eguda hela tamara characteristics of the five kingdom. Clear? टाइम ही जाइछि तमरो PYQ क्वेश्चंस पई देखिबा. Question 1, which feature is least useful in artificial classification? Answer habo option C, because artificial classification Aristotle दिया हितला आउ simple observational characteristics निया हितला, सेदे evolutionary relationship consider करा जाई नथिला. Second question हला, which criterion was not used by Whittaker? देखो Whittaker criteria word by word जो पांचटा point दिया हिची, that is cell structure, body organization, nutrition type, reproduction, phylogenetic relationship, एटा कुही नबार अछि, तेति presence of nucleus ता दिया जाई नथला, so the option will be answer D. Okay. Third question, which statement correctly differentiates natural and phylogenetic classification? एबे देखो natural classification कौन, two kingdom classification जो start होची, phylogenetic classification है कौन, तमरा five kingdom खाली आसुची, याद रे तमरा evolutionary relationship ता consider करा होची, while natural ले करा जाउनी, तो answer कौन हबो? Natural classification is based on overall similarities, whereas phylogenetic classification reflects evolutionary history. So answer is option C. Fourth question, if fungi were placed with plants, which major biological difference would be ignored? देखो option है presence of cell wall, presence of vacuoles, heterotrophic absorptive nutrition, multicellularity. Main difference between plants and fungi है mode of nutrition. So answer will be option C, heterotrophic absorptive nutrition. Okay. Next question देखिबा, which organism challenge the two kingdom classification because it exhibits both autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition? देखो एटी आंसर हबो ऑप्शन बी, यूग्लेना. Why? Because यूग्लेना टा तमरा sunlight रो presence रे it can prepare its own food, आ जते बेले sunlight नथिबो सी feed करि परिबो organic matter रे. So option B is the answer. Next question देखिबा, the most significant reason for separating monera from protista. तो कौन आंसर होगा? देखो prokaryotes और eukaryotes, all the unicellular organisms were together dumped into what? Protista kingdom. That is why separate monera kingdom was made, which took into account only the prokaryotes. So option C, cellular organization, will be the answer, which sees whether the organism is prokaryote or eukaryote. Okay. Next question, the biggest improvement of five kingdom classification over two kingdom classification is? देखो option A, recognition of gymnosperms habani. Option C, discovery of DNA भी habani. Option D, classification by color भी habani. तो correct answer will be option B, separation of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, which is one of the criteria out of the five for the five kingdom classification. Okay. Next देखिबा, match the following. Monera jodi dekhiba, it comprises of all the prokaryotes. Protista, it comprises of the unicellular eukaryotes. Fungi, it has chitin in the cell wall. Plantae have cellulose in their cell wall. Clear? Next question dekhiba, an organism lacking membrane bound organelles but capable of photosynthesis belongs to? देखो जोटी भी membrane bound organelle नाही, ता माने कोन सेटा prokaryote. So आखी बंद करके monera click करिबा. Okay. Now monera ta example जदि देखिबा, blue green algae can photosynthesize, which is under monera. Okay. Question 10 देखिबा, protista was created mainly to accommodate. Protista रे कौन? Unicellular eukaryote थे. Answer हला ताले ऑप्शन बी ओके नेक्स्ट assertion reasoning question देखिबा presence or absence of a true nucleus is one of the Whittaker's 5 criteria for classification. देखो very important Whittaker ର 5 criteria टाकू as it is word by word मने रखिबो तादरे कोन थिला cell structure थिला cell माने body organization थिला तो nucleus कोन कोठी mention हेतिला कि तो presence of true nucleus टा कोन एटा assertion टा wrong हबो reason जदि देखिबा से कहूची Whittaker classified organism based on cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction and phylogenetic relations. This is correct because those were exactly the 5 criteria which we use. So assertion is false, reasoning is correct. Okay. Next question देखिबा all assertion all unicellular organisms are placed in kingdom Protista. Is it correct? No. The bacteria which is a prokaryote it is placed in kingdom Monera. So assertion is false. Reason jodi dekhiba Protista includes only unicellular eukaryotic organism while unicellular prokaryote belong to Monera. So reason ta correct ache, assertion ta false. Very important. Okay. Next question dekhiba assertion fungi were separated from plantae in Whittaker system. Yes, it is correct. Assertion is correct. The reason kon diya hai fungi are heterotrophic absorbers with chitinous cell wall and glycogenous food reserve, unlike autotrophic plants with cellulosic cell walls and starch. So, reasoning is correct. Assertion is also correct, and reasoning is also explaining this assertion statement. So, optional both assertion and reasoning are true and reason correctly explains the assertion. Why देखो fungi टा तमरा separate kingdom एथि पाई Whittaker system रे करागला because से heterotrophic in nature. Okay. Also it has chitin in its cell wall. Clear? तो आमे बे आसी जाइछु हमर सेशन रो एंड पार्ट को तो आजि रो सेशन रे आमे फर्स्ट हाफ रे तो कॉन्सेप्चुअल पार्ट को देखिलु ही आ सेकंड पार्ट रे आमे एग्जॉस्टिवली सब एमसीक्यू प्रैक्टिस कलु तो जदी आजि रो सेशन टा आपण मानु को सब इंफॉर्मेटिव आ हेल्पफुल लागिला तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल शेयर करंतु निजो फ्रेंड संगे रे आ लाइक भी करंतु तो एटा मते बहुत मोटिवेटिंग भी लागिबो आ जदी किछि डाउट रहिला प्लीज कमेंट सेक्शन रे कमेंट करंतु आई विल बी हैप्पी टू आंसर. हां नेक्स्ट क्लास रे हमें कोन पढिया को जाउछु नेक्स्ट क्लास रे हमें सेल चैप्टर रु गोटे पोर्शन करिया को जाउछु तो अल्टरनेटिव एमिति रहइबो गोटे दिन रहइबो तमरा किंगडम रु नेक्स्ट रहइबो तमरा सेल रु तो एमिति चलिबो. ओके तो आई विल टेक माय लीव नाउ. थैंक यू एवरीवन. हैव अ वेरी गुड डे. ओके